Did you recently become obsessed with matcha tea like I did? I went to the Philippines and Cebu and they had some really good matcha. I actually brought some back with me, but I needed a matcha frother and something to actually mix the matcha with. So I got this actual electric mixer here. I want to show you what it looks like, some things that you should know, unbox it here with you, and then we're gonna make some matcha tea. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. We got a stand here for it, and then I see the actual mixer in here. We got some accessories here. Wooden spoons. We have a sifter that we can place over a cup, just like this. This one is also from the Philippines, this mug here. And so whenever we're ready to make the matcha, we can use the sifter, these spoons, and then we've got the electric mixer here as well. Let's go ahead and take this one out. Got the electric frother here. So this is good for frothing up milk, but also for making some really good matcha. Let's see if this actually works well or not. I love the color behind it. It's very lightweight and it is battery powered. Let's see if it already has the batteries or not. It does not have the batteries. Looks like we may need two AA batteries here, and let me go ahead and grab those. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set the kettle for 170. For matcha, you typically wanna be between 165 and 175. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this right at 170. Anything hotter than 175, if it's boiling too much, it might actually destroy some of the umami, some of the good sweet notes inside of your matcha tea. So I use a gooseneck kettle, electric gooseneck kettle here, and this will let me set a precise temperature, and then it will actually hold that temperature whenever it reaches this point, so that the water is exactly where I want it to be. All right, so I was able to get the batteries in the actual frother. Now it is a bit heavier with the batteries in there. Let's go ahead and put this back on just like this. I was able to tuck that little black strap down in between the batteries, and then we can just put that back on. And now if I press this button right up here, I should be able, there we go. We've got a frother. All right, let's go ahead and put in about a tablespoon of the matcha tea, and we're gonna sift it through this sifter here to break up all the clumps. We don't have to be exact. I'm going to just guesstimate. All right, so I'm going to work with that. Doing this will actually give us a better froth as well on our matcha tea once it's done. So we can go ahead and just break up the stubborn clumps. You can see underneath that we're gonna have a nice even blend, no clumps. Just takes a little bit of patience, but that's part of the process. Just learn to slow down, enjoy the good smells from the matcha, and just let it sift. So secret number one to better matcha is the sifted matcha powder so that there are no clumps. And then secret number two is we're gonna make an actual paste before we make the entire tea itself. And then I'll go ahead and froth it up for about 30 seconds after that. But first we need our hot water, and we might need about 2 tablespoons of water, just enough to make a paste before we add the rest of the water. All right, that's probably enough for now. I'm gonna set my water down over here. And then we're just going to, you can either use the wooden utensils that came with it, or you can use a frother. And we're just going to mix this and make sure that there are no clumps. At least a little bit more water, and then we'll start frothing. So I like how I can go ahead and set this on the stand so that it doesn't directly touch anything. If I put it on the stand, then it actually prevents it from touching the surface underneath. Then I can take some more water, and let's go ahead and froth this. And let's see how this works. So it just has one button on the top, the batteries are in, and I don't want to accidentally spill anything. Now, obviously, traditionally, this is made with like a wooden whisk, but it looks like this is working really well for actually getting it very foamy and frothy. If you're trying to do this for egg whites or for a milk, you're going to be able to froth and create a foam with that as well. So this works really, really well for my matcha specifically, but just keep in mind that it can work for so many other great things in the kitchen as well. Very powerful too, and it does have variable speed. You can do a pulse or you can hold it down and it goes much faster. It does work really, really well. It's strong, it's efficient. Now to finish off this matcha, all right, and then we'll grab the gooseneck kettle and here we go. Now, some people like milk and honey or cream. I'm just gonna go with some hot water. And guys, remember not to do too hot. This water is 165 degrees. And so we've got some wonderful matcha here. I'm gonna go ahead and do a taste test for you, spin you around. Let's go, let's try the matcha, and here's what it looks like. And my shirt kind of matches the color, but mm, it's very frothy. It's very delicious. Guys, if you like matcha, you're looking for a good matcha frother or a good electric mixer, you're tired of using a hand whisk, or you just want a faster experience to get your matcha made quicker. Maybe you're working a small business or farm stand and you need one to help you there. But I love how it can be used for egg whites, actually making like angel food cake, and just for so many other applications as well too. So you guys rock. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna drink the rest of my matcha. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.